Okay, hi everybody. You probably won't be able to see me, and that's fine. But this is a MacBook Air. It's a early 2015 MacBook Air, and I'm gonna be adding storage to this unit. I bought a 2 terabyte storage SSD card to put in here. I've been doing a couple of things. I initially took out 2 screws, and I decided, let me go ahead and video it, or 3 screws actually. There's 10 screws on the back of this laptop. They're all pentalobe 5, so it's a P5 that you need to take these screws out. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The 2 in the center around the back where the monitor part connects, those 2 are taller. I don't know if you can see, but there's a small screw here, very small, and a couple of tall ones. And what I do is I have a little weak magnet here that I put my screws on so I don't lose them. There's a lady online who uses a small magnetic plate, a magnetic pad, I think so it's a simple operation here to do this, but there's a couple of things you need to know in advance. You have to have, depending on the storage that you're going to be using, you have to make sure your operating system is up to date. And for this one, I'm as up to date as I can be. And so I've had the back of this off one time in the past, recently actually. I changed the battery. Like I said before, this is a 2015, or early 2015. And my battery needed service. So I purchased the battery online, and I had it shipped here, and I went ahead and changed the battery. It's a very simple process. In fact, right now you do the same steps for changing the battery. So again, that was a P5 pentalobe 5 screwdriver or driver. To get the back off, you just really pop it off from the back and kind of lift up, and that's it. So that's it. Put that to the side. I'm working on a static free. I don't have any rubber shoes on or anything like that. So there's no static. I'm having no static. What I purchased was this one had a 256 gig hard drive. What I purchased, this is a 2 terabytes. So massive amount of storage. I have a 4 terabyte external storage that I've been using, but I wanted to have everything in the unit. These 4 panels here, that's your battery pack, and it comes out. I guess I brought the old one is upstairs, but I got it from OWC, Other World Computing. I'm not sponsored, and everything I bought and chose to do for this computer is I paid full price for it. There was no code or anything. Well, anyway, so once you get the back off, if you were changing the battery, you would use a Torx 5, T5, and there's also 5 screws for the battery. They're located in the corners. 1 here, 2, 3, and 4. They're black screws. The 5th one is in the center. Now these three, the top two and the one in the center, are a little bit longer than the two at the bottom. So when I put them on my magnetic strip, when I had to save them, I put them in the location of the place that they came from. And I can show you here. So this is the physical location where those screws would be on when I put the backing on, and I do the same for the battery. The first thing you do once you have the back off is you disconnect the battery. To do that, there's a little tab here, and you're just going to pull it back towards the bottom of the keyboard here. Don't pull up on it, you pull back in this direction towards my hands down here. I use a little a spudger that they sell. Who sells these spudgers? That came from, I'll get the company name. Oh, iFixit. I bought the screwdrivers, the drivers, and the spudger from iFixit. But anyway, and it's just a matter of wiggling it. I try not to, I don't press on the battery itself. And all it is a, there we go. So the battery is disconnected. That's the first thing you do before you disassemble anything else. You use the spudger just to kind of lift up on the plastic tab here. So I'll put that there. This is a carbon fiber piece, but it was only $4. And these drivers were $5. Anyway, so as I said, the battery uses a Torx, and also the SSD, the hard drive, uses a Torx T5. And it's very easy. You just undo it. I will put that also on my magnet separate. And you can see the difference. It has a wider head, almost like a built-in washer on that screw. I use my spudger, and I hope you guys are seeing this. Let me try to get a little bit more light on this here. Let me put this in my pocket. But I use the spudger here just to lift up the edge, just a little. And you want to wiggle it to the right. Just wiggle to the right. There you go. And it's that simple. I place it out here just so I can compare. Now, of course, the computer, the chip, when they send it to you, they say, before you install this drive, make sure you read, they have some important information. And on this particular one, but each of your computers will be different. Yours might not be like mine. But I have to have Mac OS 10.13 High Sierra or a later version. And I have 12 point whatever Monterey. So I'm good here. So, and for those of you who are doing this also, you probably want to get a, I had made backups. I took a time backup, and I took a, and this is a startup, Mac OS startup for my Monterey, just in case. And I have this. This is a complete, everything that was on my computer before, that was on that hard drive, is on here. So if I have to re-import everything, I already have it here. And so, and that, you don't throw that away as well. Your old card. So it's easy to put it right back in. There's heat sinks on here and everything. You kind of putting it, sliding it flat. You don't want to put it at an angle and put it in. Like, I'm going to turn this a little bit. We don't need this here. You don't want to put it in at an angle. You want to just kind of slide it in flat. And all you do is push until all of the pins locks in place. You just push it in. There you go. And then you make sure it sits flush. You'll feel it kind of latch in place, or there's like an indent where the screw is, and that lets you know it's in place. I get my screw back. What I like about these is once you can hold the screw, there is a little bit of Loctite on this screw. So if you don't have the right size, be very careful not to strip this out. And it doesn't take a lot of torque or anything to put it back in. You just kind of screw it back in, snug it up, and that's it. That's all you need to do. You put your Torx down. Now the next thing you need to do, very important, because if you close it up now, it'll never work. You plug back in your battery. And it's the same with the battery. You don't go in at an angle, you go in kind of straight from the back to the front. I'm gonna do this looking this way here. There you go. Oh, it's not going in straight. Hold on. There you go. I use my spudger as just a guide. And then you just push it in. That's it. Now you can grab your computer back. Mine is really clean. If it was dusty in here, I would clean it off. But this one is very clean. Oh, let me show you this. In the center of the battery here, there's a little slot. And in here, there's a little divot thing. It kind of supposed to click in place. It's like a slight click. Some people say they feel it. Some people really don't feel it when they put it in. But you just push in the center. And then you put back your screws with the Pentalobe 5. And I'll put the two taller ones in first. So you see how much longer they are. I'll show you in comparison. So one is very short and small, and one is very long. So the two long ones go here. And again, they don't have to be torqued down super tight. Taking my time because I don't want to drop one of these screws. They do make replacements, obviously. You can purchase them. But I would have to go to a Mac service center or a authorized Mac repair. And they usually keep them on hand. And my neighbor, he did his and lost a couple of screws, couldn't find them. And the Mac authorized repair place, I believe he just gave him a couple. He didn't even charge him. But, and so if you do this quite often, it wouldn't hurt to get a couple, to have them, put them with your screwdrivers, wherever you keep your screwdrivers, your drivers, and have a couple of extra in a little tiny Ziploc bag or whatever you want to keep them in. You can also keep them on a, as long as there's no electronics with it, you can keep them on a small magnet, like a refrigerator magnet, not strong enough to do any damage. But strong enough to hold a couple of screws. That one didn't want to get started. And if you rub your hand against the screws, they should feel flush. And as I'm doing that, this one does not. So we will unscrew. There we go. So it was slightly off there. Anyway, so that's it for replacing the chip in here. So now I have 2 terabytes. I'm going to put this in my replacement here. Okay. And now it tells you how to reboot everything. And that's what I'm going to do. And they tell you should do this with the computer. Once you start, you should go ahead and plug in your computer. So I'm going to get my cord ready. Okay, so what I did was I printed out all of my directions on rebooting and getting all my information from my old chip, which I have copies of, back by using Time Machine or whatever. So I have to choose my network, which is my Wi-Fi network. Here we go. So right now, I put in my Wi-Fi network. I chose my Wi-Fi network, and I put in my Wi-Fi password. And so it's starting internet recovery, and it says this may take a while. So I'm just going to sit here and wait. And again, I printed out, there's 10 pages for me and this computer, but I printed out all 10 pages on getting all my old information onto this new SSD, solid state drive, whatever that is, whatever it is. I printed out all of the information that I needed for my particular computer here, and then how to migrate all of the items that was on my old chip. Now, OWC also sells a, it's like a case that you put this in, and you get the USB cable that goes with it, so that you could either use this as a external hard drive, or you could keep it with everything you've had on here. Again, I have a 4 terabyte hard drive over here on the side. Here, a Western Digital 4 terabyte hard drive that everything that was on this computer before is on here, actually in duplicate, 2 separate files or 2 separate things named different. I figured I got the space, I'll use it. Also, I have a case here with backups and storage. And so I keep the hard drive in here when I'm not using it. This is a Mac OS reboot. So if I ever lost my operating system, I have the Monterey reboot right here. And on here, this one is everything that was on the hard drive. I'll keep this one out because I might need that one. You know, I'll keep them both handy. But anyway, with you once this tells me what to do next. Okay, I just realized I wasn't really recording, which was fine because I had to put in a few passwords and whatnot. But basically what I'm doing right now, and it's going to take, it says I got about 42 minutes remaining, but the Mac OS system is being loaded, and then I have that in one of my USB ports, and here is the full everything that was on my computer before. Excuse me. So once I get this installed in my Mac OS system, I can transfer all the data into the new 2 terabyte hard drive that's on here. I've named it, it's in, everything is, knock on wood, looking good. Just gonna wait my 45 minutes, an hour, whatever it's gonna take, and I just follow the prompts on the screen. So far everything is going well. It's gonna take about another, who knows, hour and a half, and then it depends on how long it takes to transfer. I think I had 240, I don't know, 240 something gigs worth of photos, documents, the 2 books I've written. They're all on this backup here. So I'll restore everything back using Time Machine once, and the Time Machine I did yesterday. Today's the 25th of January. So I updated my Time Machine on the 24th because I knew my the new hard drive was coming in the mail today. So I got the latest Time Machine backup, and so yeah, it's actually January 25th, 2023, and today is my younger brother and sisters. I quit saying baby because they're 52. I'm putting that out there, but it's their birthday. They're the twins. So I'm getting ready to, while this is loading up, I'm gonna call them and wish them happy birthday, and I'll get back to you once I start. Once this thing starts prompting me on things to do. Okay, everybody. I got everything back on my computer. I just wanted to show about this Mac. Let's see. And I'm running the Monterey. Let's see if that'll focus there. But before, let's see, let's just go where it matters here, storage. You can see here, my storage is 1.92 terabytes. And I've only used, I have 1.71 terabytes left to use. You can see there. So updating from the 256 gig to the 2 terabyte was definitely worth it. It's giving me all the space I need, and yeah. So the only thing that didn't come back was all of the images I had on my desktop. I just had a bunch of pictures on there. Now, yeah. It came back, and I could use the how do you say that? The time, what do you call it? When you go back in time. But the pictures are in my photos album, so I could put them back if I wanted to, but I don't see the need to do that. Everything works. I can log on. Safari opens up. I'll find out if it downloads any faster when I do a video or two. Well, spoiler alert, everything worked, because if you're seeing this video, then it worked. So anyway, that's all. It wasn't hard to change, like I said. So you guys have a good one. And if you need to upgrade your MacBook Air early 2015, it's not that hard. So y'all have a good one. That's it for now.